The ballroom of the Grand Orion Hotel shimmered with crystal chandeliers and quiet ambition as the city's most powerful names gathered to celebrate the rise of billionaire tech mogul Adrian Vale. Cameras flashed, reporters whispered, and a massive screen behind the stage displayed his company's logo in gold. Adrian stood tall at the podium, perfectly tailored suit, confident smile, the kind of man who had turned a garage startup into a global empire in less than a decade. He spoke about innovation, about sacrifice, about how hard work could lift anyone from nothing to everything. The crowd nodded, hanging on to every polished word. Success, he declared, his voice echoing through the hall, is about courage. It's about never looking back. Applause thundered across the room. But just as he lifted a glass for a celebratory toast, a small, trembling voice pierced through the applause. You forgot something. The room fell into confused silence. At the edge of the stage stood a little girl, no older than 7, wearing a simple faded blue dress and worn-out shoes that didn't belong in a place so grand. Security hesitated, unsure how she had slipped past them. Adrian blinked, annoyed at first, then curious. The girl stepped forward, clutching a folded envelope in her tiny hands. You forgot my mother, she said, her voice shaking but determined. A murmur spread like wildfire. Adrian's smile faltered. He stared at her as if trying to recognize a face from a distant memory. Sweetheart, I think you're mistaken, he replied carefully, aware of every camera lens zooming in. But the girl didn't move. My mom said you would say that, she whispered. Gasps rippled across the audience. She opened the envelope and pulled out an old photograph, holding it up with trembling fingers. Even from the stage lights, Adrian could see it clearly, a younger version of himself, arms wrapped around a woman whose smile was full of hope. His breath caught. The girl continued, louder now, she said you promised you'd come back. She said you'd help us when you made it. The silence in the ballroom became suffocating. Investors shifted uncomfortably. Journalists leaned forward like predators sensing a headline. Adrian's mind raced back 8 years to a cramped apartment, late-night dreams, and a love he had buried beneath ambition. Where is your mother? He asked quietly. The girl swallowed hard. In the hospital. She's very sick. She told me not to come, but I saw you on TV and I thought maybe you forgot because you were busy. Her innocence hit harder than any accusation. The billionaire who claimed courage suddenly felt smaller than ever. The audience watched as his carefully built image cracked under the weight of truth. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then, slowly, he stepped away from the podium and knelt in front of her. What's your name? He asked, his voice no longer rehearsed but human. Lily, she answered. Adrian closed his eyes briefly, realizing the timeline, the resemblance, the unmistakable truth staring back at him. This wasn't just a scandal. This was his daughter. He stood up, turned to the stunned crowd, and took a deep breath. Tonight, he said firmly, I talked about courage. But real courage isn't about building companies. It's about facing your mistakes. Cameras flashed like lightning. Cancel the rest of this event, he ordered his team. Prepare my car. Then he looked at Lily and gently took her hand. Let's go see your mom. The room erupted, not in applause this time, but in disbelief. The story would dominate headlines by morning, but none of that mattered now. As Adrian walked out of the ballroom holding Lily's small hand, he realized success meant nothing if you abandoned the people who believed in you before the world did. And sometimes, the smallest voice can deliver the loudest truth. If this story moved you, if you believe in second chances and the power of truth, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more unforgettable stories that touch the heart and remind us what truly matters.